Welcome back to tacNtrack. I'm Brad.
And I'm Gil. Today we're talking about the Ruger LCP. Be honest, it's not a good review. I hate the way this feels in my hand. Oh man, I don't like it. I hate that trigger.
The Ruger LCP is light, it's compact, runs a 380 cartridge, but how do you feel shooting it?
Well, I feel like it was made for someone significantly smaller than me. It's far too small in the hands. If you've got the slide back, my thumb doesn't like to bend back to get that, and when you do, it's not very easy to do. So it's not the most useful little gun to me.
Now, the one thing that the Ruger LCP does have is they came out in 2008. They have literally made millions. I think in the first 8 years they made 1.6 million Ruger LCPs. So common parts are well available for them. I'm not sure common's necessarily a good thing here, but they are out there.
No, yeah, just because something's common, it may be because it's affordable rather than because it's good. And it does have that going for it. These are fairly cheap pistols to buy, and you can find them at any gun shop in the United States. Even now, in a pandemic where you can't find what you're looking for, you can still find the LCP.
So as always, we rate the guns here on tacNtrack in 5 categories. We rate them in value, ease of use, fun factor, reliability, and accuracy. So talking a little bit about the value with the Ruger LCP, they have an MSRP of $309. That being said, you can pick one up for $220 to $240. Gil, can you think of anything else in that price point?
A lot of the guns that I own are in that price point. I like a cheap gun. I just haven't found any I like less than that.
Yeah, they are pretty terrible. So we're gonna give this a value score of 3.1. The only reason it really rates that high, and one of the only reasons I'd ever recommend actually buying a Ruger LCP, is because it's not a high point. It is indeed better than a high point, and they are cheap. And cheap guns certainly have a place. With that being said, it doesn't have a place for me. I think with a little bit more money, you can buy a significantly better gun. And we're going to talk about some other options in some other videos on compact guns that are a little bit better than what you get out of the Ruger LCP.
So the fun factor on this gun, it's not. I didn't really like it. I don't ever want to hold it again. I'd take the P238 over that all day long, or pretty much any other gun in that category. It's uncomfortable to shoot. I mean, it's 9mm, or it's 380, so it doesn't kick very much. That's kind of nice, but it is small, so it's more than you think. I didn't like it at all. What do you think, Brad?
I'm not a fan necessarily. I will say this, we took 50-yard shots with this, which is hopelessly optimistic, but I will say this, that was one of the most fun things I've done with a handgun in a while because I actually got a hit. With that being said, when we were shooting this, I mean, 50 yards, this is not an acceptable,
No.
It's not an acceptable option. With that being said, it was a lot of fun to get a single hit. And I did actually go back and reviewing the film. We actually shot this 4 days ago?
Yeah, that was about right.
About 4 days ago, I went back and was reviewing the film, and I thoroughly enjoyed watching Gil's face every time he picked it up. We got some funny clips there. I'll see if I can throw them in here. Gil was less than happy with this thing.
I hate it. I'm not going to own one. If you want one or have one, good for you. But I don't want one.
With that being said, we're going to give this a fun factor score of 1.9. Low capacity mags trash sights, just not a real fun gun to shoot.
No, not at all. From distance.
Was that a hit?
That was a hit. And you got a double kill. The casing hit me.
So we rate everything on accuracy as well. You know when you're buying something in this size range that you're not going to get an incredibly accurate gun.
No, yeah, it's short barrel. And you're shooting 380. That's probably not ballistically the best bullet in the world, but it's fine.
With that being said, we shot this the same day that we shot several other short-barreled firearms. We shot a 38 Special, the SIG P365 XL. We shot the SIG 238. So we shot several other short-barreled compact firearms to get a good comparison to put this up against. And how did you feel about all the others compared to the LCP?
All the others had excellent sights on them. Maybe not the 38 Special, but the SIG, both the SIGs that we shot had excellent sights on them. This one's got just the, I don't know, what would you call that?
Trash?
Garbage sights on them that are fixed. They're part of the slide. They're not adjustable in any way, and you can't see through them that well. So that affects your accuracy a little bit, even apart from the short barrel.
The other thing too is once again, this trigger is not as good as any of the other ones. The only thing I will say is I think this trigger might be slightly better than the 38 shooting at double action. Shooting it single action, I think the 38 was significantly better though.
Right.
You know, so certainly doesn't excel in accuracy. So when we're talking about guns here on tacNtrack, we always bring up reliability. With that being said, I've shot a bunch of these through the years. I've never had any problems, never really had any malfunctions. Got no reliability complaints.
No, I mean, I'll give it to it. It never jammed on us. It fed well. I've had problems with 380s feeding before. That one had no problems the whole day, and we shot it a fair bit. Put some rounds through it and never had a problem with it. So if it does have two things going for it, it's cheap and reliable. What was our score on that one?
The reliability score on this one, we actually scored it a 4.25. The only real things against this thing on reliability really comes down to some finish quality issues. The parts on these do have a tendency to rust a little bit more than some other stuff. But really, all in all, very reliable, very cheap. That's probably where the good news ends, but reliable and cheap.
Yeah.
Something's got to be said for that. So our overall score on this gun is a 2.81. It's not particularly accurate. It's not particularly fun to shoot. The only really good things I do have to say for it is it works and it's cheap. And really, that's the only reason to buy one of these, is if you really just can't spend the money to get something better. This will work. It will work, and it is inexpensive.
Yep. It'll shoot when you need it to.
That's pretty much all we've got to say as far as any reason to buy this. You can find them, they're cheap, and they do work.
There's other options we'll go over that we think will be better for you, so stay tuned for those videos.
Thanks, guys. Check out some video of us shooting it, and remember, like, comment, and subscribe.
LCP on the dueling tree.
Empty.
How do you feel about that?
It honestly did significantly better than I expected, but my expectations are incredibly low. So that's got a lot to do with it.
So Kimber Micro 9 over that?
The Kimber Micro 9, the SIG P238, I think are significantly better choices. I mean, the one thing I have good to say about the Ruger LCPs is they're cheap. That's really the only selling point you have. You have problems like that where they won't stay open.
So
it didn't lock open on an empty mag either.
for an everyday carry where your life may be dependent on it, spend a little bit extra money.
Yeah, I certainly would. There's no way I'm gonna make this.
Brad, Ruger LCP, missing every time. From distance.
Was that a hit?
That was a hit. And you got a double kill. The casing hit me. Ooh.
The magic, the mythical,
Oh God, don't make me do this.
best gun ever.
Don't make me do this. From distance.
Was that a hit?
That was a hit. And you got a double kill. The casing hit me.